my name is cydnaide, but you can call me Cy, and welcome, and for those returning, I see you, boo.
Hey, happy Friday, everyone. Director Kjun just posted this Friday's update and videos. Not one, but two. He gave us two, y'all. Two. Now, I know you all won't want to hear this, but Kjun did give us a timeline or a time frame for when the update will drop. Unfortunately, it won't be this month. So at the end of this month, we won't be getting the update. However, we'll be getting it early next month because they want to make sure that they get everything and do quality control over, what they've been working on. And even though he says this is not a big update, he's adding a lot of major and important fixes as far as NZOI's autonomy, NPC autonomy, just generally making things much better for us and giving us a lot of quality of life improvements that just honestly what we needed. And so, yeah, we're not getting into next month, but we're at least getting it, and it will probably be that this update will be in a better state than them just rushing it out just to meet a quota. So thankfully, they're choosing quality over just rushing it out to meet a quota. So with that being said, he did show us some very interesting things that I am very excited about going over with you guys. So first being is that he showed NPC autonomy rework active mode, actual restaurants that have catering. You hear me? Actual catering restaurants, not the going to the kiosk or to the cashier and picking up your order from the counter. No, actual catering. Can you say amen? If you keep bugging, you can get what you want. And also, high school are getting school schedules for first and second periods. So if you have a ZOI or ZOIs that you want to be in a specific class together, you can now set that up in the new menu they're going to have on the school. I actually like this because then you can set up special, I would say, like certain scenarios that you want for your ZOI school. Also, they're going to be working on and improving heavily on world NPCs and having true story progression, such as ZOIs getting married, divorcing, finding love, and having children, all without us having to mess with them. So in other words, NPCs, your pre-mades, they're all going to go through this, and it's all optional. So if you don't want that on, you can turn it off. But for the most part, your world will continue to move on without your intervention or doing heavily rotational play if you're not a rotational player. I will say for myself that I'm not a huge rotational player. However, I have been able to make it kind of work. But if we have options to make that easier, yes. He's went over so much more stuff in this update and for what he had to show in the videos. But all I can say, it looks really good and your girl is excited. But anyway, enough of me going on. Let's just dive right into what he had to show us, y'all. Hello, everyone. It's great to see you again. I hope you've all had a good week. It's been a week, Kjun, is all I'm gonna say. First, I have some slightly disappointing news to share. The August update has been delayed a little, and we are now planning to release it in early September. I'm sorry that we couldn't bring it to you sooner. I'll keep running as hard as I can to deliver it to you all. Boo, do what you have to do to make sure you give us quality. I'd rather have quality over quantity in this situation. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. For this update, rather than adding new content, we've been focusing on making the fundamental aspects of everyday life and behavior in NZOI feel more natural. While this won't be a particularly large update, a lot of development work has gone into strengthening the foundations of our life simulation systems for the future. Amen. And nothing wrong with that. Like, even though he had to put some things on the background, even though I didn't really consider that stuff new content, I felt like that was fleshing out of content that we already had, but it did have some new elements to it. However, I don't mind that they went in this direction either. So, like I said, I'm still team let them cook. Today, I'd like to introduce one of those systems and hear what you think about it. Previously, when a ZOI visited somewhere like a burger restaurant, they would remain there for a set amount of time. However, instead of ordering and eating during that time, they might talk to other ZOIs, look at nearby objects, or perform other actions unrelated to the reason they visit in the first place. To improve this, we've developed two new systems. For these, please refer to the video on the top comment. And I will also play it in the background as we're going through this. The first is a system that allows us to define actions that ZOIs should prioritize when they enter a particular location. The second is an interaction permission system that allows us to specify who can use each opted. For example, at a burger restaurant, we can have a Zoi order from a kiosk, wait in a customer seat, receive and eat their food, and then naturally return home once their visit is complete. Employees will no longer sit in seats intended for customers, which is nice. However, if you have previously customized regions or spaces yourself, you may need to register some of this newly added information again. The amount of data itself is not large, but if you have customized many different areas, it could mean a little additional work. We are also preparing a way to apply the new system correctly through a reset. Okay. I want to share this with you before applying the system to the development build so that we can hear your thoughts first. And I like this. I like this a lot. Hopefully, though, that this does not continue to delay the update, but if it does, I would rather, again, for them to make sure that their foundation is solid. So I believe that putting these small but fundamental systems in place one by one is essential if we want Zois to feel less like characters who simply spend time in a location and more like people who act and live according to their own purposes. And I agree. Lastly, when I look up at the sky on my way home from work these days, the stars seem especially bright. The evenings are starting to bring a little cooler breeze as well, and it makes me feel that summer really is beginning to pass. I wish I could say the same thing for where I live. The long hot summer is gradually coming to an end. Thank you for spending another week with inZOI. Since the update is arriving a little later than planned, we'll work hard to make sure we can show you something even better when it arrives. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you again next week, Kjun. So that's what he had to say concerning the update, the delay, and generally what they're trying to go in the direction as far as Zoi autonomy, especially when it comes to public lots. But anyway, let's just get into the video, and then we can do our breakdown at the end.
Hello everyone. Today we're back to sharing some of our recent technical developments. Let's take a look. We are working on more active interactions where you can press buttons to initiate an action. Here's one where you can pick up a plate of food instantly with a button, and pressing another button will throw that plate of food to wherever you target it. Another button allows you to swing your hand with moderate force, and if you so choose, you can have that land on another person, which by the way is not a nice thing to do. When you're floating on water, we added a nice touch where the Zoi would sway just barely to make it seem more realistic. We previewed the vacation system a while back, and here is an updated look on the new feature. Choose your destination and who you will be traveling there with, as well as your accommodation. Order local food, explore the area, or just enjoy the various amenities if you're in a fancy resort. We're also working on the restaurant experience, where you can order food at your table and have that food be cooked, then delivered to you by a waiter. If you're looking for more ways to enjoy time with friends and lovers, you can invite them to your home with our new sleepover system. It can be your closest of lads or a love interest you just met that night. Use this system to create many different scenarios for your Zois. We're adding a feature for schools where you can specify which students will be in the first period and the second period of classes. You can also set default autonomy actions for NPC Zois, including whether they can butt into conversations, get married, divorced, pregnant, and so on. Many of you have requested this, and we're finally making it so that you can interact with babies outside your home. To reduce the fatigue of continually having to hold shift to run, we made it so that if you hold W for an extended period of time, the Zoi will transition into a running motion. Of course, we're providing the option to disable this feature if you want to slowly walk around the city. There was an annoying interaction where if you wanted your Zoi to fill their need when they were outside, but their home was nearby, they would always look for solutions outside their home. We fixed it so that they would just enter their home to eat food, use the toilet, etc. We also fixed another annoying issue where many Zois would collide with each other to get the same plate of food. Now, if there are not enough food available, some will simply resort to acquiring additional food for themselves. Another related thing we fixed was Zois previously sitting with another Zoi they barely knew, as if that is a natural thing to do. Now, if there is an empty table nearby, they'll go to sit there instead. Oppositely, if the Zoi wants to eat with another Zoi, they'll skip the closer table to sit at another table that the other Zoi is eating at. We added positive and negative reactions for when Zois are eating tasty and not so tasty food. If the food they ate was their preference, there will be a positive reaction for that, but a negative reaction for activities they do not enjoy. What did you think of this week's developments? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you all on Discord next Wednesday, and I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Bye!
Okay, so I have the video muted and I'm about to start playing and we're going to get right into it. So right here, they're now having it so that you can just click a key. I think that's pretty neat. I don't know if I'll use it as much, but I love that he showed active mode. The plate just flipped back up. Did y'all see that? The plate just flipped back up after she threw it and it rolled. I hope they just let it stay as it is. Now this is crazy. Bro out here punching people. I am excited about active mode, and it seems like they're going to finally be able to put it in the game and we'll be able to mess with it. So that's exciting. Granted, I'm not going to be going out here throwing haymakers, but I do like the fact that we now don't have to use a frying pan to fight or to do anything, to start anything, but you can just swing on somebody. Like, imagine if a Zoi just pops up on your other Zoi and just starts swinging. Crazy work. Anyway, I like this right here, this little animation of them just floating around. Wait. Girl, Phil, did you see her? Look at this, Phil. And this is the vacation tab where they're showing how this is going to work. Now, I did notice this, though. I did notice this. Hold up, as it goes on. You cannot still bring babies anywhere to vacation. So that's when you're leaving your baby at home to be babysat. And I'm guessing now that they have fixed it so that you don't age up while your family's away. So that'll probably be nice. It's still crazy, though. You leaving your baby at the house. I hope that in the future that we'll have a option to take babies or at least toddlers to on vacation, because I remember in Sims 3 you couldn't do that, and I think in Sims 4 you could, but then I could be wrong because I did not mess with the vacation stuff or the whatever that pack was, the one where you go out into the woods or whatever. I didn't mess with that one like that, so I can't say yay or nay on that one. I like that they showed the accommodations. It's going by so fast, but look at all the accommodations. So nice. And I'm guessing that's per night. And it's showing you the rooms, how many levels it has, and how many Zoids that you can have up in the room. So you can have up to 4 Zoids. So basically, you can have a family of 4. So I'm guessing like you can have a parents or at least 2 other Zoids that are a couple, and y'all can stay in here. I do like that. And you can also seem like to order room service. What I say? It seems like you can also order room service. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, you can order room service on Pocket Mart, and it'll arrive here. So I like that. I like that a lot. I like that. Yes. And then you go out to eat at the restaurant. Look at the menus. Those menus are so cute. And the chef over there cooking it. I wonder if we'll be able to run our own restaurant. Like, will that be a business that we can actually run? Because I would love that too. I would prefer that, honestly. It's giving me Sim 2 vibes. Oh, it's bringing me back to the Sims 2. Oh, did you see I love that once they were done with the food, placed it right there. Yeah, this is so Sims 2 coded. I love that. I like that they put the little, that's so cute. And this is the sleepover option. So now that you can invite your friends over to sleep, whether they're your friends or if there's someone romantic with you. So that's nice. Ooh, spicy. And so this is the school system where you're going to be able to put in first and second period. Now I'm going to try to do some translating here, y'all, but it's going to be wonky, so you're going to have to bear with me. But I'm going to just read it out for you. Edit class assignment feature. Is it not going to let me translate it? Okay, there we go. You can change student assignments for classes 1 to 2 by clicking the teacher's desk. Okay, so when you click the teacher's desk is when you can do that. That is actually really cool. I like that. Very useful, very handy. And then you put who goes into which classroom. So perfect. Now this is the NPC world or your city's story progression. And I'm going to just do a little translation right here. So give me a second. Autonomous behavior, interrupting conversations, using clothes by situation, outfit by situation, getting married, getting a divorce, getting pregnant. So those are the options we have right now. They don't seem to have can move or anything like that. So hopefully that is something that can be implemented in so that Zoids can move around, and only based off of parameters like, if they don't have really small children or anything like that. I mean, there might be some reasons why they can't do it. I don't know, who knows? But yeah, so now we have where your Zoids can get married, get divorced, and so forth like that. Now they're adding a new option so that if your Zoids are running around or you don't want a whole shift to have them run, you can just hold down W, which I think is really neat. I like that. And of course, they give us an option to toggle it on or off. Nothing wrong with more options, that's for sure. I love that indirection of the Zoi. Like, look this is such an old person thing. Like looking back, like if that would make it easier for them to see what's on the screen. I remember my grandparents used to do that too when they had their cell phones. So it's kind of comical to see that they added that. That's a nice little detail. I like that. Wait, hold up. What did I say? Oh, sorry. He did go over here where he says that the Zoids won't go somewhere far off, but if they're near their home lot, they will go into their home lot to handle their business, like using the bathroom and eating and so forth like that. And this right here is showing Zoids eating a meal if it's available, and if it's not, they'll go and try to fill that need somewhere else or a different way. Well, how did I explain that? I'm sorry. So now this one right here says they fixed another issue where Zoids previously was sitting with your Zoi. Now that they will not do that if they don't know that Zoi, which makes so much sense. Because obviously if a Zoi wants to eat with another Zoi, they'll skip the closer table to sit at another table that the other Zoi is eating at. So this is them kind of working on the group autonomy, or you out on a date or something like that. Your Zois will then sit together and eat together, because I could not stand the fact that we go out to eat and Zois will not sit and eat together. They would go everywhere else but to where they're supposed to. And so the animation, the point I'm getting at is the animation is so cute. She's like, oh, I like this. It tastes good. But if they eat something gross, look. Hopefully they fix the face to actually make the face, See, like how she's smiling when she eats the food that she likes. But when she doesn't like to do whatever, just like sniff the plants, she's like, no. But yeah, that's what he had to show us this week. I really enjoyed what I saw today. Did he just walk through that? Okay, didn't Kjun. But yeah, I am so excited for what they're going to, what they're doing with inZOI and the different bugs, fixes, the quality of life improvements, and just generally listening to the community on what we would like to see, and that they're actively working on it. And if they can't get it exactly like, what we would want, they try to get close enough. And that's all you really can ask for at the end of the day, that they are putting in the effort and time to, meet our needs and what our asks are, and not being, I would say condescending, because there are some devs that they come off kind of condescending when players ask for a certain thing, or as if, because again, we're the customers, and so yeah, we don't know what you're going through as far as devs, but explaining it in a way that doesn't come off as condescending, it helps your player base better understand where you're coming from, if that makes sense. And I feel like with the inZOI community, when it comes to how Kjun communicates to us and about, their limitations and, their shortcomings and where they're trying to, grow stronger in, I find that there's more understanding from the player base now than it was back when it was launched and they were trying to, explain things. And, Kjun never stopped being humble. He never stopped being open and communicative. He never stopped and act condescending or anything like that with us. He never got snippy. All he ever asked was for us to be, a little bit more understanding, from their perspective, about their limitations, but that they will try hard and they will deliver what they can. And if they can, if they can't, he's going to let us know. But for the most part, most stuff that he said he couldn't, he was able to, with his team, overcome that. So this is not glazing, but this is just me pointing out a fact. And the fact is that they have been listening to us. They have been very communicative, and they have not been condescending. That's a fact. So with that being said, I am just very excited to see what is coming in September. I did wish it was in August, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad it's not, because that means that they're working hard to make sure that we have a quality product. And that's all I could ever hope for, is that we get quality again over quantity, or trying to meet a deadline. But yeah, I love the yap. I tell you, I love the yap. Anyway, well, that's going to be it for me. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys feel about this update. Are you excited? I know you're probably feeling like, dang, it's not going to be at the end of this month. Shoot. But overall, are you not excited? Like, are you not excited for what's to come? Let me know in the comment section how you feel about how this update is shaping up. what do you see, how you feel about the fundamentals first approach that they're taking? Do you feel like they are really truly going in fundamentals first, taking things from the ground and building it up? Like, how do you feel about how they're handling this? Anyways, and like always, thank you all so much for sticking out to the end of the video. If you like my content and you want to support your girl, leave a like, comment, or subscribe for more videos like this where I cover most Wednesday and Friday devlog posts. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.